Okay, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning right here on Fila FM 89.3. And of course, every Tuesday we come your way with our mental health show. And today, Tuesday, is not an exception. We are here as always to talk about your mental health. And today's show, it's something else because my sweetheart is back. So it's going to be something else. I hope Sani Emeka Obi nye jealous. I hope so. Be jealous. Barnabas. Barnabas menye cobra. Why?
There were cobra no niha.
Cobra na kase to kai. Okay. Yo. So my personal person is here, and today we're going to be coming your way with what turning negative feedback into positive change. Turning negative feedback into positive change. You know, of late we've been trying to work on your mind, your mindset, which is very, very, very important. And today that's what we're going to be doing. So just leave your dial on 89.3 Fila FM and make sure you tell someone to also tell another person to join the conversation. And let me remind you, we are live on Facebook, Fila FM 89.3. So you can also join us on Facebook. And as you join, please share and let others also benefit from our discussion, which is very, very important. So joining me in the studio to talk about our interesting topic, turning negative feedback into positive change, I have with me Barnabas Tangongo as usual. And Dr. Achu, you see the qualification. Dr. Achu Theodore Newton. So Doc and then Barnabas, good morning and welcome.
Thank you, AKB. Good morning. Good morning.
Achu, it's been a while.
Yes.
And we've been missing you on the show.
I've missed you guys. I always want to be here, but you know,
circumstance,
concentration of the body and the homeostasis of the body in itself must be normal. So the body will want to bring you back. Let's bring it to the psychological system and also the social system. AKB is a manager. As a manager, she knows the normal thing that you are supposed to, or normal qualities that you are supposed to possess when you come to work for her. And if she assigns you, she expects at least an average performance. If you overperform, we are very happy. Yeah. If you underperform, that is not good for the company. And therefore, we need to bring you back from the negative habit of behavior into a balance or a normal state. In doing that, at the blind side of AKB, she will run certain comments, she will say certain things. And in saying those things, you will feel hurt about it. When you feel hurt about it, you will want to act to change that bad behavior and come back to normalcy. That is what we refer to as negative feedback. So when we put a definition to it, then we are saying that negative feedback is the corrective response. It's a corrective response that signals a mismatch between your current behavior or your current performance and a desired standard.
Okay.
So there is a desired standard.
Yeah.
We are going to give a corrective response so that the mismatch between that kind of desired standard and your behavior, you can correct it and come back to that standard. So in simply put, that is a negative feedback.
Okay.
If you hear a negative feedback, then it means that there must be a positive feedback as well. Yeah. So in nature, but we will not focus on that aspect. But just to highlight that in a positive feedback, AKB has realized that his employee is very painful. When you prepare food or you are selling food and the person comes and tell you that, oh, and we're doing the crowd, your food was too bad. And I remember growing up, my younger sister,
we are about 6 or 7, including my father and some other relatives that were around. And this girl will suffer and cook food for us. For me, I know how to cook food, so when she cooks and sometimes it doesn't turn out
goes
right,
wrong, yeah.
I just keep quiet and chew my thing like that. But my younger brothers, for them, they don't know that. And the painful thing is that they cannot cook. So one day she prepared food and didn't go on well like that. For me, I took mine like that and kept quiet. One of my younger brothers came and he just tear the food once and said, today dear, you are killing us. My sister cried that day. And her pain was that they are not doing anything and she has to suffer to prepare the food, and you will come and tell her that the food didn't
go well.
So that was the way that she responded to those negative feedback. So in a food setting where you are selling food for people, that could be your clients that are also giving you those negative feedback.
So you know what I mentioned, I was laughing. We went to a restaurant here in Kumasi with a friend, and honestly the food was not. So my friend is the Frank type.
Yeah.
He just told her, what kind of food is this? And now the waiter was just standing there looking at him. She didn't know what to say. I said, I couldn't even eat. And honestly, he couldn't even. He just took 1 or 2 and then he left it because
sometimes it's difficult not to actually voice it out. When the thing is so bad, you find it difficult to really keep it. So your clients are also another source of negative feedback that we can have. And another critical individuals or group of individuals that we can mention is also our family members.
Yeah.
Most of the time, a lot of people feel that if they are related to someone, if something happens, the person should not tell them in a particular way. Let me put it well. So, for instance, when you are family with, you are related to someone, and you are behaving in a bad way, sometimes people want them to kind of be economical with the truth, as people will say it. But there are certain people that, to be frank, they may not be economical with it. No. And sometimes they might have tried to say it in a way that may not hurt you that much, but consistently you are doing it. So when you consistently do those things, your family members too are likely to just give it to you in a harsh way. So family members are also a key source of negative feedback that you are going to get in this world. And the truth is that no one can run away from negative feedback. Whether you are a young person, whether you are a grown-up or whoever that you are going to get negative feedback. Even the president is getting negative feedback.
Negative feedback.
So
public servants.
Then you can get the information you want. Not that the way you said it, next time say it politely. Yes, we agree that the person that is criticizing, you know that we have 2 types of criticism. We have constructive and we have destructive.
Yeah.
Yes. But whether destructive or constructive, if you understand what we are teaching you today, you know that whether it's destructive, yours is to look for the message. What is he trying to tell me? What is my boss AKB telling me? She yelled. Yes, it comes with emotion. Deal with the emotion. Sit down and decode. It's like I've started doing the thing wrong. Let me go and talk about examples. When we get there, we'll discuss it. When we get there, we'll discuss it. AKB, let me come to the examples.
Come to the examples.
Yes. So when we talk about examples of negative feedback, we are looking at what are some of the things, or where in particular, what processes will you find people giving you negative feedback? Yeah. One of them could be in communication. And after that, we'll give a series of 4 or 5 examples and see how we'll analyze it if a manager and you put this question to someone. So in terms of communication, you could be a boss or you could be assigned a work, or maybe let's say I've come to the presentation. My boss is at the workplace. When I go and she analyzes how the presentation went, she could make in an input. Oh, I think you guys were giving too much details. Should I say that, when I thought that I was explaining for people to understand, look at my boss, you are giving too much details. But this is why I can't do it again. So you see, in communication, you can get a negative feedback. Another one is the quality of work you do.
Okay.
AKB assigned me that, actually, we want to do work with this people? Is there any merit in it? If there is merit, then let's work on it, because Ridge is a big facility,
sure,
and they must improve their standards. So now let's look at few. These are some of the areas that those things can happen. But I want to cite an example. We have Ella here. She's a young project manager. Then after presenting her project update to AKB, who is the manager, listen to what AKB says. Your presentation was a mess. You lost the audience. So this is an example. That statement. Ella, your presentation was a mess. You lost the audience. But to Ella, she gave her best. She gave it, and in fact, she was waiting to say that you have done well. So that is one. And this is an example of a negative feedback at the workplace. One look at one in personal life. So Barnabas has a partner. Then the partner tells him, you never listen to me. You are always on your phone. Today this, today that. Why don't you listen to me? That is negative feedback. To Barnabas, he talks that, I've left the workplace. I'm in the house with her. That alone, I'm giving her attention, but he's on his phone. That's an example of a negative feedback in our personal life. Let's look at it in our academics. Professor Kumsen, he has a medical student, and he tells the medical student that the essay you brought today, this should send your mind back to some of the things your bosses have said to you, and know that it is for what? Improving you, bringing you back to what? The set standard, the desired standard of the company, AKB.
Okay, so these are the examples of negative feedback that Achu has given us. So Barnabas, in the process of receiving a negative feedback, it's not easy to receive it.
Can't be easy.
Right? So what do you do in that process?
It's not easy. What I'm even going to say, me cry, is even heavy for me. Because in the process of someone bashing you, lambasting you all over the place, sometimes it's very difficult to receive some of these things. But there are quite a few ways that we can deal with it, and this is specifically related to when we are receiving it. So just as we are sitting here, let's say Achu is giving me feedback. That is what we are talking about. What can you do to help yourself in that dire moment when the heat is just being poured on you at that particular instance? So the first thing is that you can take a few moments to listen to whatever the person is saying. So at that moment, the person is trying to talk. So take a few moments, try to concentrate on what the person is saying. What I'm saying is not easy, but we just have to manage ourselves to be able to do this. But it's something that is doable. So when you take a few minutes to listen to what a person is talking about, the next thing is that you listen attentively. So we say active listening. So active listening means that you are concentrating on what the person is saying and trying to get the impulse of what the person is trying to communicate to you at that particular moment. So you give the person a listening ear. And mind you, there is something that is very unpleasant, but you have to listen for the sake of your growth, for the sake of your own development. It is good that you listening. And the next thing is that you don't have to react defensively. And for this, that is the way a lot of us normally react. When someone is just saying us something that is very negative to us, except that if the person giving you that negative comment is your boss, and you realize that for your boss, you cannot punch the person or you cannot shout at the person.
Punching Utrim, Dad. Punching Utrim.
Ask Captain always say that you can only insult me in your head.
That's all. It can't come out.
It can't come out.
Yes, you insult me in your head, but you can't do me anything. So if it's your boss, definitely you're saying certain things in your head, but you cannot really react to the person in that way. So we shouldn't react defensively. So once the person is giving you negative feedback, we should just have that idea that it is for our own growth. So for our own sake, let's listen to the person and avoid reacting defensively. Then the next thing is that once you've avoided reacting defensively, you can ask questions to clarify. So the person is saying that, just as the example that Achu gave, that when he used me, that you are in the house with your wife and your wife is complaining that you are not listening to her, but you think that you are in the space at that particular moment. So you can ask questions to clarify. So I'm in the house now, so how do you want things to be? Then she might explain that, oh, I normally see that you are looking at your phone. So when you are looking at your phone, I don't feel that you are listening to me in that regard. And how many of them were you not able to meet the deadline? So you have to reflect on this by yourself, and this one not someone doing it for you. You have to do it by yourself. And when you are doing this, what it does is that it helps you to identify whether the things that the individual said about you is actually true, as things that are really happening in your life, or they are not things that are really happening in your life. So when you do that, you are able to figure out the things that are actually happening in your life, and it gives you that process, that leverage to work on those things that you know are actually reflecting in your life. And if you now realize that these are things that are actually happening in your life, or these are things that you are doing that is not helpful enough, then it's incumbent on you to accept that process. Until you accept it, you cannot actually work on yourself to improve it. So you have to accept that there are certain flaws in your life, there are certain flaws in your work, there are certain flaws in your activity or your behavior that now you want to work on them. Then you don't let those negative feedback harm your confidence. A lot of the time, that is what demoralizes a lot of people, especially one of the examples I just cited, when you are giving a presentation and after the presentation your first blow is to just tell the person that you didn't say anything. Whatever that you said, we didn't understand anything. No, you were just talking, and we were just looking at you. A lot of people normally take it in a way that it actually affects their confidence. So what we are saying is that you should know that no matter what you do, you are not going to get everything right. So people are going to have comments and other things about the things that you do. And for instance, me personally, if I'm engaged in a presentation, for instance, what I normally tell myself is that, yes, even though maybe if it's specifically related to mental health, I have gone to school to learn mental health, but the people also there, they are there to also listen. They can also listen. So I already tell myself that I may not be able to convince everyone, or not everyone will understand what I'm trying to do perfectly. So in that sense, I may get some negative feedback, especially if the presentation that I'm going to give is for people to criticize me. So already I tell myself that I'm going to receive that. So when it comes, it doesn't really shock me that much, but I have to take notes and work on it. A typical example is when I was doing my master's, there was a time that we had to do presentation, and during the presentation, I didn't know I was saying or continuously. So not knowing it didn't make the presentation very nice. Unfortunately for me, the first person that our professor said to ask a question, the guy was like, "Me, I didn't hear anything. Oh, you are doing throughout." I didn't shame me. Come here, but later on, I just sat back and I asked a few friends. There was one matured woman that was among us, so I called her and she was like, "Yeah." At a point, that was what I was saying. So I said, "Oh, okay." So when I realized that, since then, in every presentation,
you are very conscious,
to make sure that I don't consistently say those things that it will make my presentation appear or come out in a very bad way. So these are some of the things that we need to know, even though it might be very hurtful, but sometimes there are certain positive things that we can take from it that can help us grow. And the last thing is that if I'm mentioning that you shouldn't let it affect your confidence, we should know that we are all not going to be able to do things perfectly. So to help you bounce back on your feet, you should also know that even though you didn't perform well in that particular aspect of your presentation, or you didn't perform well in that aspect of your work, there are other things in your life that you are doing well. So if it is at the workplace and you are finding it difficult to meet deadlines, maybe you're a good communicator. So some of your colleagues like you because you're a good communicator. So you can use those good aspects about yourself to comfort you in that regard, so that it will give you the energy, the zeal to be able to modify yourself to continue with the journey that you have ahead of you. So AKB, when we talk about negative feedback, we should know that certain times we are going to receive it, whether we like it or not. And in the process of receiving it, we need to prevent being defensive. We need to listen attentively. We need to also ask questions if necessary to clarify what the person is saying. And you can thank the person. And the ultimate thing is that you have to reflect on the negative comments that the person is saying to see whether they are true or not. And once we reflect on it and they are true, we have to work on it and say some positive affirmations for ourselves to also prepare us and energize us into working in details on ourselves. So, okay, these are some of the ways that we can use to manage ourselves in the process that we are receiving that negative feedback.
Yeah, some more. You know, there are some, like you said, there are some people who will immediately react.
Yes.
To your feedback.
Yes.
Oh, my one currency.
No.
Now they are mom.
Yes. So if you remember, I said that it comes with emotions. We are human beings. If you tell me something, it affects my emotions first. If you can't deal with the emotions, like if you think that you react, it's okay to deal with the emotions. If you are done dealing with the emotions, come back and look at the strategies as he has mentioned. So that's just it. Of course, you may want to be defensive. Sometimes you even be defensive.
Yeah.
Then when you go back, you realize that so it's true. Let me also give you a typical example. In US, when I finished, my supervisor, as he looked at, he marked the work. He told me that he would have given me an A, but the way there's few errors, so he gave me a B. I said, when I went back, I said, look at this work. No supervisor, like the examiner who marked it.
Going back to you, let's look at the specific, because you were already jumping there, so now I'm bringing you into it. Let's look at the specific steps that one can take to turn this negative feedback into a win.
Yes. So
a win-win kind of thing.
Yes. So Barnabas has already started enumerating some of them. I just going to put it in a practical example so that we all follow it and see how we do it, so that if you are listening to me, you can also take a cue from that. Now, just 5 steps I'll list. The first one I want to talk about is pause and reframe. Pause and reframe. That's step 1. He had already explained, so we'll look at the example. Now, remember, Ella was a young project manager, the example I gave, and you are her manager. She came, she gave you a presentation, and your comment was that it was a mess. So when Ella heard this, we have been taught by Barnabas, don't be defensive. She had some emotional rush, of course. It had some effect on her, but she decided to pause and think about it. She said, I'm terrible at this. I said, no, I don't have to think I'm terrible at this. What should I think about? She reframes her thinking that no, my delivery needs improvement.
Okay.
So first of all, when the thing happened, the emotions was that I'm terrible at this. I thought I did well, I didn't do it. Then she paused. No, think about it. Let me reframe what I'm thinking. That's why I said it is always about how you interpret what the person says. Then she says, no, I think my delivery rather needs improvement.
Okay.
That's the first one. So you pause and you do what? You reframe. The second step is that you have to clarify. So Ella walks to AKB. Please, if you're in the house, follow the discussion so that when you get similar things, that's what you do. So Ella walks to AKB and asks, boss, thank you, but I want to know. Because Barnabas said we should say thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you, but I want to know. Can you pinpoint out which part of my presentation was a mess and was confusing? Then AKB says, this your presentation has no structure. Jesus. Something I've spent a whole night doing has no structure. There are too much details. Then she says again, thank you. So she has clarified where the problem is. Because if you don't know what the problem is, how do you solve it?
Solve it, yeah.
So she has clarified. The third point is that you have to extract the lesson. So she has gone through the whole system she gets back to you, you gave a comment. After you gave your comment, this comment is positive, AKB. This time she will not have negative feedback, she will have what? A positive feedback.
Yeah.
So it is going to reinforce her behavior that let me do more. She's now going to learn how to oversimplify, how to communicate well, how to be on time, how to collaborate with the boss, how to make sure that she delivers to your satisfaction. You see the steps. So those are just the 5 steps we need to take. Step number 1, you pause and what? You reframe. Number 2, you clarify. What at all do you want me to improve? Number 3, you extract the lesson from the negative feedback. What is the lesson? What is my take-home message? In fact, when I was preparing to come here, I didn't know that I used to do that. I said, so I've been doing this. You extract the information, then you now put an action plan to it. After that, you go back and what? Ask for what? Follow up and feedback. When it comes, it goes back into the loop. This doctor is doing well. Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's talking about him. Then envy. Somebody gave me a comment. I won't mention the place, but at the workplace, this doctor follows up on patient. He goes to their house to the point that he's been able to document diseases that are specific to each household. And when you come, he has time for you. He talks to you nicely. So they decided to group like your shift. So Barnabas will come Monday and Tuesday. This person will come this. He comes at a particular time. AKB. The other days, the other doctors come. Nobody will be there. When it is his time, everybody is there. And it started causing confusion. What does he think he knows something? They had to transfer him. You see, so if you don't get this thing,
God, he's doing his job well.
He's doing his job well. He's adding other things. You don't know that the training is 6 years. You can't talk to me like that. I'm a doctor.
Mental health, to be precise. So if you are reacting violently, you should know that it is not only to the person that you are reacting violently, but you, the individual, even reacting violently, it also have those negative effects on you in terms of your relationship with other people, in terms of your satisfaction in the job as well, and in terms of also causing you a lot of stress as an individual. These are all things that you can experience that are going to cause some negative, going to have some negative implications on you that you need to actually take note of.
Okay, so giving the negative feedback, though a bitter pill that one would have to take, but it is necessary.
Necessary.
Because I'm coming from the point where Barnabas initially said the sister who used to cook, she would taste and keep quiet. It means you are not doing her well
at all.
You are not doing her good by keeping quiet.
For that side, I was not doing her well because I understood the mood that she was in that particular day. No, they will come here.
Project manager in the last stage. People want to be better. In fact, they rather run after feedback. So you see someone come, boss, how did I do? You've not even said anything. Sometimes you even say, I think you did well. Let's fight about. Please don't be nice or be shy. Please say it how it is. There are people who want to grow and become better and become excellent. I'm sure that when you started your career, you were not nice with this melodious radiogenic voice. It didn't start like that. It started with practice, and we say, I like the voice. Then she's improving, then she's talking, then she's adding the smile to it. And the AKB became what? A household name.
You became AKB.
AKB. And I even owned it.
The owner of AKB is back. Okay, interesting. It's been an interesting discussion this morning. An anonymous texter says the special good morning to you, AKB, and your team of experts. I'm a regular customer and a benefactor of this very important show. I welcome the 2 fresh medical doctors. Unfortunately, one of them hasn't. Okay. So she just came in. So this one, you are part of this message. I welcome the 2 fresh medical doctors back to the studio. I congratulate them for their academic achievement. Long live Fila FM. the mental health show, the host, and the experienced panelist. Thanks so much to our anonymous texter who is always doing the listening. So today we have been looking at turning negative feedback into positive change. So I'm sure we've all learned something today from this, and we've all learned something. All of us, we have that emotions. There are times you may not receive the negative feedback well, but I think, as they said, if you sit down and really reflect on what you are told and then take the necessary step, you will grow. We all want to grow. We don't want to remain where we are. We all want to grow. So sometimes it's important. Maybe the person is telling you the truth. Just say the way he will put it, or he or she will put it. No, na ma obuafu. But all that na se na dwene hu yi. Obe hu say ehu hia. Odi ye adwuma. Obekọ wanim.
There's a message there. Let's look for it.
Of course, look for decode the message, as Achu said, decode it. And then work with it and move forward. All right, so let's take your final words before we pop a champagne for our new doctors.
AKB Urabantino. Let me just see whatever I have to say.
Hey, Barabas, we are me row, we are me duffel number 1 pa she. Achu ni we say one na ukura mi mu. Hey, nka me tiate.
The main one tiate. Obeka AK. Ni ka ka de me pese me kan bia. Na jamajari akunya ni mu no. So I just want to say that as we continue to talk about this, it's very important that we take one or two things that we've talked about and try to work on it. And in case you've also tried it and you are still not seeing top, we are always around at West Hospital, Central Hospital, and GTH. You can always come around, and whatever the help that you need, we will be able to provide it for you. If we cannot provide that help for you, we will also direct you to the appropriate place to get that help. So I want to end by saying a good morning to Mama Yvonne, my in charge at West Hospital. Obi born and each person Mr. Baminsre.
And so wasre.
I want to say
and so wasre, Syria wasre. Wasre, so now wasre.
And good morning to our HR, Madam Getty at West Hospital. She has always been doing the listening. So I say good morning to her too again.
Okay, thank you. Achu.
Yes, AKB. I'll say that feedback is very important, and it helps us to improve our relationships, our habits, our communication. People who handle feedback so well, like your last question that you asked, they are seen as people who are coachable. They are seen as people who are resilient and people who are leadership ready. If we think that we are leadership ready and resilient, we'll be ready to take feedback or negative feedback to the core and always find a better way to turn it into a positive change. And that's what I have to say to our listeners this morning. And my shout out, the Banaba has said it already, so you may train AKB
now. Okay. All right. So what is
and Captain? We have missed him.
Major, he's not major. Many Barnabas. Yeah, they are fire. Yeah, they are quiet. Who's our so still let's make it to them. Who's a captain at the chair, major? Who's captain at the chair? Yeah, true inside there. Who they call him now? They are captain.
Major, wherever you are, good morning. We've missed you. We wish we could do this with you on the show, but we also know that equally important activities have taken you away. We'll wait to see you and celebrate with you. You are a big man.
Sure,
we are always proud of you. Sure. Captain, good morning. Hey, Major, good morning.
Captain Ned, now Captain Ned.
Good morning, Major Dumako. God bless you.
God bless you so much. So it's been a wonderful show, and I have been talking to Barnabas at Tangongo, Tamale West Hospital, and then Dr. Theodore Achu Newton. And our ladies are in the studio, but today they were observers. That's Ella and also Shada. Today they are observers, but I'll let one of them pop the champagne for us. And my other doctor too is in the studio, Dr. Opari Dodu Juliana. She's here. So what I'll do is that I want all of you to be behind Achu, and then Ella, pop the champagne for us. Ella, go in front of the camera and pop the champagne. Pick the champagne and then pop for us. So after that, if you don't hear from us again, we've gone to Peace FM to pick the news. But I want this to be on air. I want this to be on air because Shada, get up. Why? Join them. So Ella, pop the champagne. The champagne. Hey, Emom Ella Pentokwao. Hey. Okay, so the champagne is being popped for our 2 new doctors, Dr. Theodore Achu Newton and also Dr. Opari Dodu Juliana. Ayo. Oh, and where the champagne no abayi. But mo exit na man you mama we mu ebi ba na ebi soko. So that's more like it. Hey, asembeba debut. Asembeba debut.